This is John Long from Clean Bread and Cheese Creek. Today is Saturday, April 6th. After a cleanup of the Willow Road section of Bread and Cheese Creek, and as you can see, it looks absolutely fantastic. We had a lot of wonderful, incredible volunteers come out today, and because of that, we far exceeded our goal. Not only did we wind up doing the Willow Road section of Bread and Cheese Creek, we also did the section between Plainfield Road and Merritt Boulevard, and we also did the section, some of the section on the other side of North Point Road. Plus, we also cleaned up the entire North Point Road area by Wal-Mart and the flea market, which has been such a horrible eyesore and disgrace. We couldn't have done any of this at all without our incredible volunteers. And this effort was far beyond what we could have even hoped to accomplish in a single day. We haven't gotten the final numbers for our volunteers yet, but I would hazard to say we've had more volunteers come out today than ever before. We've taken out 14 tires. We've taken out probably at least 1,000 pounds more of metal. We've taken out another dumpster of trash and debris, and all of this was stuff that was littering the stream. I'd also like to take this opportunity to start thanking some of the people who are instrumental in this. We had a lot of volunteers come out from my alma mater, Towson University, and I cannot be thankful enough for that. We had several people from the Towson Alumni Association come out. We had a bunch of people from the Towson Ultimate Frisbee Club come out. Chesapeake Pile Driving came out and were an incredible effort. Helped us get rid of some of the shopping carts that were completely embedded with the tools that they brought. We were able to get out a few more of the blockages we weren't able to reach yesterday thanks to Chesapeake Pile Driving, and they worked their tails off. Everyone did. Gold's Gym and several of its members came and did an absolute incredible job. The CCBC Geocache Club, which always shows up, was absolutely indispensable. And once again, I mean, you can just see how beautiful this is. You saw the pictures before, and it's night and day. You know, and everybody says, well, how does the trash get in there to begin with? And you know, it's most of it is from stormwater management that's antiquated in the Dundalk area. Most of the rest of Baltimore County has been upgraded, but we're still on like 1960 standards, which means that almost all of the debris that's in shopping centers and parking lots and on the streets is drained directly into Bread and Cheese Creek and other waterways. The current standard is to have buffer zones or even stormwater retention ponds, but we don't have those here. All of the storm drains go directly into the creek, and that's a complete shame. It looks like we actually have a few volunteers out here I'll have to say hi to as we pass by. I also have to thank some of the people who donated to us, who we couldn't do without it. And of course, you know, a lot of our funding was due to the incredible efforts of our treasurer's bake sale, which really helped us be able to afford a lot of what was needed. We also wound up being able to, we got donations of chicken corn soup from the Caddy Shack, which also came thanks from Gold's Gym. Gold's Gym brought us water, power bars, fruit, all kinds of good snacks. Entenmann's, of course, brought us tons and tons of sweets to keep everybody going in the morning, donuts, bread. Also, we received donations of water from the North Point Diner. I should say, no, I meant to say the Boulevard Diner. And that is one of our lovely neighbors thanking us for our hard work. And believe me, you know, we saw a lot of our neighbors out here. It wasn't just volunteers from outside, and a lot of our regulars from Bread and Cheese Creek, which we wouldn't exist as an organization without them. I can't stop thanking everyone enough for the effort. It's, you know, despite the fact that times are tough economically and everybody's having to tighten their belt a little bit, our volunteers are still willing to give their time and effort in order to make this difference. Because I know I've said it before, but every piece of trash in this stream that we don't remove is going to flow into Back River and into the Chesapeake Bay. And that's going to cause damage to wildlife. That's going to cause damage to the corals and the natural habitats. The bags are going to poison all of our sea creatures, and we're stopping it in the creek level. And once again, we're doing that thanks to all of our incredible volunteers. If I have forgotten any organization, oh yes, the Lions Club through Gold's Gym also donated bagels to us, which I have to be very thankful for. And once again, these donations are incredible. I mean, anything, as I know I've said it before, that's left over at the end of the day goes over to Rita's Kitchen, which is Dundalk's supper table for the homeless and for the hungry. So no food goes to waste. So it doesn't matter if we get lots of donations, it always goes to a good place. Remember, this section of the stream is also the most historic section of the stream, because during the War of 1812, we're fairly close to the North Point battlefield, and in the corner up here at North Point Road is where the Maryland militia made its camp and made its second stand to go back and attack the British a second time, which is what was successful and drove them back. The stream is historic and should be treated as such. You never hear of anybody throwing their trash on the fields of Gettysburg. You never hear of anybody throwing their trash on top of Pearl Harbor. And I honestly believe Bread and Cheese Creek should be treated with the same respect. Several American volunteers lost their lives defending our country against the British in what is often called our Second War of Independence. And although the War of 1812 might seem not so important today, it helped to define us as a nation. You got to think about it this way. Washington, D.C. was being defended by a professional, trained U.S. Army, and the British came in and burned it to the ground. Now, Maryland and Baltimore was being defended mostly by militia and volunteers, and the volunteers were able to stop the British and beat it back. Volunteers are a heart of any good organization, and our volunteers are our heart. They work hard. I mean, anybody who comes out to one of our events will see how dirty and tired and sweaty. It's no bones about it. For those who choose to be in the stream, it's hard work. And for those who choose to be up top, it's still hard work. Registration with lines of volunteers coming may not be quite as dirty, but it's still hard work. Those signing out and signing in waivers, all of those are important. And that's why we say we make sure that absolutely everyone can help. We have volunteers for all opportunities, for all ages and all abilities. And we want to make sure that it incorporates the whole family. That's why our events are ran like a family experience. Because that's what makes Bread and Cheese Creek successful at cleaning up the stream and the other areas that we've started cleaning up in the Dundalk area. You know, people cut on Dundalk, but they have no right to cut on Dundalk. Dundalk has got more heart than most communities. Just because we're blue collar for the most part doesn't mean that we deserve any less rights or any less consideration than anyone else. And part of that is nature. Everybody needs to be able to have a place to connect with nature. Everybody needs a place where they can enjoy a stream or a park. And there's been so many studies done on how important this is for a child's development as well as for adults to de-stress. And we've got this wonderful stream running through our neighborhoods of Dundalk. And it's beautiful. I mean, look at this. You know, you can't find anything as beautiful anywhere else in any state park or national park. And the people love it. I mean, we love it. Everybody at Bread and Cheese Creek really cares about what we do and the effects it's having. I don't think that we can possibly thank everybody enough for what they've done. I don't think that there's any way to ever repay our volunteers for what they've done. It's why we try to treat them well, and we try to make sure they have plenty of good food to eat. You know, my grandfather always said, never ask anyone to do something that you're not willing to do yourself. When you have somebody volunteer or help you, they're family. They take a time out of their own busy lives and their schedule to help you. And that's what family is. Doesn't matter if there's a bond of blood, they're there for you. And that's what we like to think of everybody at Bread and Cheese Creek as part of our family. I'll have the final trash totals and everything else later on today, but I wanted to make sure that I got a good video of the stream while the light was still decent, so you could see how incredibly clean it is. I mean, look at this. Yeah. This is gorgeous. And every time we clean it up, there's less trash. And the only reason we have the amount of trash we do have in it is because of the stormwater management, which I said in the beginning of the video. And if we can get that fixed, we probably would only need to do a once-a-year cleanup. And we could probably do the whole stream at once. But we're not there yet, and we're working toward it. We will have all of our volunteers thanked on Facebook, and they'll be on our webpage. And that's the least we can do. We have 2 more cleanups coming up this spring. If you're interested in volunteering, and all we need is volunteers. The next one is going to be on the 18th of April, and it's going to be Bear Creek Park and Shoreline. And then 2 weeks after that, on May 18th, we're going to be cleaning up Stansbury Park. And once again, even though these places aren't connected to Bread and Cheese Creek, they're places where children need to be able to have the opportunity to connect with nature. We're coming up to North Point Road. This was our original goal, the section we just went through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make separate videos showing the other 2 sections of the stream and landside, which was cleaned up, which we hadn't even expected to be cleaned up. But our incredible volunteers amazed us again. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. We hope to see you out at a future clinic, so that way you can see what kind of magic Bread and Cheese Creek can hold for you and your family. Thank you very much. Again, this is John Long with Clean Bread and Cheese Creek. To learn more about us, visit our website, www.breadandcheesecreek.org. Thank you.